Okay, hello, welcome to my channel. Now in this video, we want to decompose this fraction into its partial fractions, alright? So we have a quadratic in the numerator and then a quadratic in the denominator. Well, this fraction is an improper fraction, and it is an improper fraction because the degree of the numerator is not less than the degree of the denominator, alright? This is degree of this is 2 and the degree of this is also 2, so that is an improper fraction. And before we can decompose an improper fraction into its partial fractions, we need to first of all rewrite it as a mixed fraction, alright? That is the way we have a whole part and then the proper fraction part. So let's see how we are going to do this. Well, I'm going to start off by doing addition of 0 in the numerator. So let me extend this a little bit because I want to add 0. What kind of 0 will consume the whole of this line, alright? So you notice that in the numerator we have x squared, denominator we also have x squared. Well, I want to add 0 in such a way that we can have the denominator as a part of the numerator. Like one part of the numerator should be the same thing as the denominator, so that can give us the whole part which we need, and then the other part will give us the proper fraction part. Anyway, you will see what I'm talking about. So this is x squared. We have the x squared here, so we don't have negative 5x in the numerator, so let me just put that down, negative 5x. That means I have subtracted 5x from the numerator, all right? Yeah, so but you know that the 5x was not there in the numerator, so I've changed the whole fraction. So what do I need to do? I need to add the 5x which I just subtracted. That is the addition of 0, right? Negative 5x plus 5 give us 0, isn't it? Okay, that's very nice. And also, you notice that we have plus 6 in the denominator, but here we are only having negative 3. That is, we need to add 9 to balance it. Right, so if you add 9 to the numerator, you have negative 3 plus 9 will give us positive 6, which is what we have in the denominator. But we've just added 9, so we need to subtract that 9. So in the end, what we have is 9 minus 9, 0. Negative 5x plus 5x is also 0. So 0 added to a thing, it doesn't change that thing, right? So we've just added 0 to the numerator, and then the fraction stays the same. Okay, but it's going to help us. It's not that we've not done anything. We've actually done a little thing which is going to show in the next step. So let's see what we'll do. We'll rearrange some terms in the numerator so that one part will cancel out. Okay, and by that I mean I'm going to split the fraction into 2. So I'm going to split the fraction into 2. Okay, the first part will have the same denominator, x squared minus 5x plus 6, and then the denominator will be maintained. You know, when you split the fraction, the denominator will be maintained, and then the terms in the numerator will be added or subtracted as they were. Okay, so we have x squared here. Let's put down the x squared. Now we need negative 5x, so let's bring this negative 5x. That's the rearrangement we'll be doing. Then we need a positive 6. Well, to get plus 6, we need to add negative 3 to positive 9, and that means we are going to have positive 6. So what have we used up? We've used up x squared, we've used negative 3 and positive 9, or we've used the negative 5x. So we are left with positive 5x minus 9, which is what we are going to put down here, 5x minus 9. Okay, great. So that's how to split the fraction. So you notice that in this place we are going to have 1 because the numerator and denominator are the same, and of course let's hope we don't get 0 anyway. Okay, so here well, I'm going to write it the way it is. We have that divided by x squared minus 5x plus 6. All right, good. Now you notice that this is the whole part I was talking about, and then this is a proper fraction part. Why is this a proper fraction? Well, it is a proper fraction because the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. The degree of the numerator is 1. That's a linear term, while the degree of the denominator is 2. That's a quadratic expression. All right, so this is now a proper fraction. This is now the whole part, so that gives us a mixed fraction from the improper fraction we had earlier. Okay, so the only thing we have to do now, since we're not done, is to decompose this proper fraction part into its mixed partial fractions. All right, when we are done decomposing the proper fraction to its partial fractions, we are going to put the result here, and then we are done. All right, so let's do that over here. Now we have 5x minus 9 divided by x squared minus 5x plus 6. All right, okay. Well, the first thing we'd like to do will be to rewrite this denominator as a product of its factors. So you factorize the denominator a little bit and then rewrite it. All right, so this is going to give us, when we factorize, we're going to have 5x minus 9 divided by Well, to factorize, of course, we seek two factors, two numbers or two factors. Their products will give us 6, and then their sum will give us -5, and that's because the coefficient here is 1, right? So we have -2 and -3, so we can rewrite it as x minus 3 times x minus 2. Good. So we are going to decompose this as follows. So I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to put two fraction lines because we have two factors, all right? Yeah, the first factor will come here, x minus 3, and then the other factor, x minus 2. Okay, now you notice that each of these factors are linear. This is linear, this is a linear factor, all right? Because of that, we are going to have a constant in the numerator. So let's just use the alphabetical order. Constant, where a is just a number, and then b also. They are unknown numbers, which is what we are going to find. Why do we use constants since this is linear? Well, to decompose a fraction into partial fractions, all right? When you get the factors, okay, what you do is you write them like this, Each fraction will have each of the factors. Now, you are going to make the numerator to be a degree less than the denominator, just 1 degree less than the denominator. So since this is the power 1, the numerator will be to power 0, which is just a constant. And then we have to find what the constants are, a and b, okay? So to figure out what the first constant will be, that is for the a, we ask ourselves, well, what value for x will make this denominator of a to be equal to 0? So you notice that if x is equal to 3, the denominator of a will be 0. So you come over here, okay? You cover up that particular factor, x minus 3, then you substitute x equals to 3 wherever you find x, okay, in the other terms. So when x is equals to 3, notice we're going to have 5 times 3, which is 15 minus 9, which will just be 6. Then we have the 6 divided by, well, 3 minus 2 is going to be 1. So that means 6 over 1 is 6. That is the value of a. Okay, let's do it again for b. Well, what value of x will make this denominator of b to be equal to 0? Well, if x is equal to 2, b will be 0. So we come over here, look at the factor x minus 2, cover it up, substitute x equals to 2 in the other terms. That is, x is equal to 2. When you substitute in the other terms, you're going to have 10 minus 9, which is just 1, divided by, this is x minus 2. So you cover it up, substitute 2 for x. That will be 2 minus 3, which is -1. So the result here will be -1. That is the value of b, right? -1. Good. So you've decomposed this into, let's rewrite it properly. This is going to be 6 divided by x minus 3 minus 1 divided by x minus 2. Good. So this right here is the decomposition of this fraction, which is what we had here. So we can easily write this in that place. Notice this is a positive sign, so we just add this to that. We're going to have 6 divided by x minus 3, okay, then minus 1 divided by x minus 2. And this right here is the proper fraction decomposition, is the partial fraction decomposition of the fraction we were given earlier. Right, I didn't want to write solution anyway. All right, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do want to subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and I'll see you in our next video.